Whisked Whispers. I'm Audrey Burnley, and today I'm joined with Nyah Simpson. So Nyah, what are we making today?
We are making Megan's pasta, which is my sister's favorite pasta salad dish. So it just has pasta, prosciutto, lemon, garlic, cheese, and some peas.
So how are we gonna make this?
Okay, so first we're gonna start by chopping some parsley. It's a little garnish on top. And then we'll probably just cut the garlic and zest the lemon. And then we'll probably finish with cutting the prosciutto and cooking it. And the pasta's already cooking, but
sounds good. So, I have you here today because I wanted to talk about your figure skating.
Okay.
So why don't you tell me a little bit about that? Like, how did you get started into it, and why are you still doing it today?
Yeah, so my mom is a figure skating coach. And originally she was a show skater. So she did ice shows, she did Disney on Ice, Ice Capades, all that. So it was kind of her life for a really long time. And then when I was born, she tried to actually not get me into figure skating because she was like, no, I want her to choose it by herself. And so like she put me in like 5 different sports. So I was doing like swimming, karate, gymnastics, dance, like literally everything. And then I like slowly started dropping them so that I could skate more. So that's kind of how I got into it, and it was just like, you know, my favorite thing ever since, you know, and I've spent like, I think it's 15 years now doing it. So yeah, it's been a really long time.
Wow. Well, that's really nice, continuing on your mom's legacy.
Oh.
So, I mean, it seems like a really hard sport. I mean,
Yeah.
so how do you balance that with, you know, a normal teenage girl life?
So there was actually a point where I could have made the decision to go, I think, a lot more competitive than I did, but that would have like required me to basically give up everything. So like I couldn't have had like a normal high school experience, like football games, proms, out the window. So I decided, I was like, hey, this is like in middle school, like that's not something that I wanted to do. So I was like, you know, like I want to, you know, go to high school football games. I want to have like a regular high school experience. So that's kind of what I decided to do. You know, I was just like, I just want to have fun and enjoy it. But then I was still really competitive. Like I still did a lot of competing throughout high school. It was just not at the level of like, oh, I'm trying to go to nationals, because part of me knew I was like, you're never going to get like on the world stage in that way, because I would just rather do ice shows like my mom did.
That's nice. So like what kind of competitions are you doing now?
So now, since I'm in college, I'm starting with collegiate skating. So it's like a kind of, it's a little bit more low stakes, but it's like more just like colleges competing against other colleges. And it's like, they have 2 different kinds of collegiate skating. So they have like team-based collegiate skating, and then they also have like individual stuff. So like where I'll like do like a short program and free skate, and I'm just basically competing against other people, rather than like as a whole team.
Yeah.
So that's really fun. But before I went to college, I was doing this thing called Excel, which is like kind of, I wouldn't say it's like an easier version of like the national circuit, but it kind of is, because instead of having 2 programs, you just have one, and it was like a lot more like less people were in it. So, you know, that was kind of how that was going. And I really like that because I actually qualified all the way to nationals with that one. I went to Texas like last summer. So that was really fun. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing now. You know,
that's cool. So Nyah, I know you had a really busy skating schedule. How did you balance that with, you know, high school and senior year?
Yeah, so getting up at 4:45 every single morning takes a toll on the body. Yeah. So, you know, I got used to it as I got older, for sure. You know, like it just kind of became a thing that I did rather than, you know, something I had to do. So like, especially towards senior year, I think I just like made sure, like I was going to bed like late too, because I was taking AP Lit and AP Bio at the same time, and I had journalism, and there was like so much going on. So I really just like would take the weekends to like really rest, and I was also sleep deprived and burnt out at the same time. But I think that's a feeling that, you know, is shared by a lot of people, not just athletes, you know? Yeah. But I kind of, the only way I can describe it, I just kind of got used to it. Like I didn't really think about it too much. I just kind of like did it, if that makes sense. Yeah, no, you know, because if I like really like complained about it or thought about it too much, then it would just make it exponentially harder to do. Yeah.
So you're talking about being burnt out and all this stuff, and I feel like when people think about figure skating, they think about the Olympics and how it's super duper competitive and how you're putting a lot of strain on your body because, I mean, it's a hard sport. So, like, how did you deal with that?
I think burnout. I think I really, like the summer before college, I think I really just, after I went to nationals, I really just tried to chill out. You know, like I kind of allowed myself to be burnt out, you know, and not saying that like, oh, like as it is like a bad thing. Like it was just a consequence of like, you know, all the stuff I did. And like part of me was like, oh wow, like I did a lot. Like that's why I'm feeling burnt out and I'm really proud of myself.
Yeah.
But then it was also like, you know, maybe it's time to like chill. Which is kind of what I'm doing now because I can recognize more when I'm getting burnt out now in college. So I definitely really try to take some time to myself and just like chill out, you know, and just kind of rest.
Yeah, so is there like a figure skating team at your college or?
Yeah, so basically what is really weird because I go to the University of Utah, plug, go Utes, and they had a figure skating team for like the longest time and then it like fizzled out for some reason, which is really surprising considering it's Utah, which is a very, you know, winter sport heavy place. So we're starting a new one. I'm currently the vice president. So that's really fun. Yeah, and everyone there is so nice, you know, so I really, really like it because it's a really supportive community. And I think, you know, coming from figure skating, which can be a really toxic place, especially at a really high competitive level, it's really important to me that I have all this like support from all these people.
Yeah.
Coming from like, you know, a different state and like people from everywhere, which is amazing because I'm meeting a lot of people from Utah, but also people from like Oklahoma and Washington and Oregon, like just like all over the place.
That's so cool. Okay, so now what are we gonna do now?
Okay, so we have zested the lemon and we have cut the parsley and the garlic, so now we're just gonna cut the prosciutto and that's kind of it for prep.
Yeah, and then we'll get to cooking. So you talked a little bit about how figure skating can be sort of toxic. Can you go into that a little bit?
Yeah, so, you know, it's a very aesthetic sport and, you know, coming from, I guess, I wouldn't say it's just like from old times because it is kind of an old sport, but like, you know, you're kind of like, as a woman already in society, there's a lot of things that you're supposed to be and supposed to look like, and especially in skating, it's kind of like that too, where you are like supposed to, you know, be a certain weight, you know, you're supposed to have sparkly dresses that are really form-fitting to your body, and you're supposed to look a certain way, like athletic, but not like too athletic, like petite, but not too tall. Like there's like a lot of different things in the skating community that like you are kind of have to look like. Like, and because I was so tall, I was actually told by some coaches that I was never going to get anywhere because I was too tall. Which is because it's like in terms of like doing quads and like triple jumps, which I was like, okay, but if you think about it, I personally think I am better off being tall because like a ballerina, I have really long lines, which actually makes the skating look prettier. But it's like, oh, you know, you're not gonna, you know, get anywhere with your jumps, and which is, you know, I'm continuing to prove them wrong. But you know, so it's like a lot of stuff like that. There's a lot of naysayers, you know, and there's, I think in that sense it can be really toxic, you know, with like eating, body image, stuff like that. You know, that kind of reverberates as you get older.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that, you know, you've been able to prove these coaches wrong because I've seen her skate, and let me tell you, she is a wonderful skater. And
thanks, Audrey.
Let's talk about the pros of skating. So like,
oh yeah, let's
start. So what is your favorite thing about skating?
Okay, my favorite thing is kind of niche, where I really like doing really long edges and swizzles because I like the sound it makes on the ice.
So can you explain what those are?
So yeah, so it's basically, because the skate, it's like kind of like a knife, but also kind of like a ski, where it has an inside edge and an outside edge. And how you do all of, you know, the tricks and all the cool things is with your edges. So, you know, you press into your inside edge to, you know, to turn one way, and then outside edge to turn the other way. So a swizzle is on two inside edges, and you're kind of leaning in, and you're pushing your legs out, kind of making like a fish shape or like a pineapple shape. So doing that, and also just like leaning on my edges on one foot, kind of swaying back and forth, kind of, I don't know, like ballet, but also kind of like water. It's like, I don't really know how else to describe it, but it's just, it's really fluid for me, and it's really, it like calms my anxiety sometimes, you know. I'm just like, can like chill and like recenter myself.
You were basically teaching me how to do this. And, so do you do a lot of coaching?
So, sort of. I used to do a lot more when I was here in, you know, not going to college. But like I did group classes and stuff like that. But now not so much. But yeah, I've taught like a lot of like little kids in group classes and stuff. I was an assistant coach, all that kind of stuff. So.
Very nice. Okay, well we're basically done
Yeah.
cutting up the prosciutto. So now we're gonna go cook everything and we'll be back to assemble it. Ready?
Okay.
Okay, now we're back. We just finished cooking everything, our garlic and our prosciutto. So Nyah, what are we gonna do next?
So next we're gonna take the pasta over here, and the prosciutto, and the parsley and the garlic. So we're just gonna combine everything basically. So I'm just gonna do. Oh yes, I can do that.
In here we have some peas.
Yes, we have the peas in here, and then you can just go like that.
Pour this in.
Yep, pour everything in. Bring it in, and then we'll get everything. Get the garlic out of it.
It's a little bit stuck to the bottom.
Okay.
Oh, you know what we need?
We need mixers.
We need salt and pepper.
We do need salt.
We need salt and pepper.
So we have a little salt and a little pepper, and we're just gonna put a little bit of salt in there, and some pepper.
She knows what she's doing.
Well, eyeballing it. And then finally, we'll take the juice of a lemon.
Hopefully, oh, there's a little seed in there.
Oh, well, okay, that wasn't ideal.
But pick that one out.
We gotta go like that.
Yummy.
And then we take a little mixing spoon and just mix it all together.
Oops, there goes the parsley. That's okay. It looks really good. And it smells really good. Like the lemon. I'm really excited. Okay, while you do that, I'm gonna make our vegetarian version for our good friend Inaaya. So, add some parsley and garlic. Kind of just do the same thing. Mix these two together. And then how much lemon should we use?
Oh, just kind of, you know, a little squeeze. We can use the other one too.
Yeah, and we have lemon zest, right? Is that
Yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah, the lemon zest. Yeah. Not me forgetting a part of it. Like a sprinkle of lemon.
Yes. It's like a good amount of lemon.
And then a sprinkle there. A little bit. And then the salt and the pepper.
Oh yeah. This looks like really healthy.
It's really good.
It's really good. Okay.
And finally, the finishing touch. We are going to grate some Parmesan cheese.
Wow. Everyone's
all
favorite
up
part.
on there.
Well, at least it's my favorite part. I love cheese. But okay.
Just a little bit.
So after we're done putting these all together, we're gonna plate and we'll come back to talk more about figure skating. So, you ready?
Yep.
Okay, we'll be back in 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're back and here's the finished product. Ta-da! It's looking really good. I'm really excited. Got a little bit more cheese on here. Really excited.
Give it a little taste.
Let's try it. Okay. Can we cheers? Yes, we can cheers. Gonna get a little bit of everything. Okay. Cheers.
What do we think?
It's really good. I like
Pretty
the lemon.
solid.
Yeah.
The lemon's good.
The extra cheese really
Ties it all together.
Yeah, I agree. And it's healthy. It's got peas in it.
Protein.
Yeah. Okay. So back to the whole figure skating thing. So I know here in California you had a place that you would go to and practice, and moving to Utah, I'm assuming there is a lot of skating.
There's a lot of ice rinks.
So how is that transition?
Well, the transition to college, I think, was a lot harder than I expected, actually, because I was like, oh, we'll be fine, I'm not that far. Utah's not like the East Coast, but she's still far. Like, it's like, I don't know, something like 400 miles away. So it was definitely hard adjusting to that, like being away from my parents and kind of being on my own for the first time. And like, literally, I was thrown into an environment where I literally knew no one.
Yeah.
Like, there were a couple people coming from Cromwell, but not too many. So I didn't really know anyone except for my roommate who I barely knew. And so it was just meeting all the new people. Like, I met so many people right away, and I was worried about like not having friends, which I feel like is really common, you know, for people, you know, starting college. But that was like, honestly, I don't think anyone has to worry about that, because everyone is in the same boat, which makes a college freshman so unique, is that everyone is, I know probably everyone here is all like, oh, we're all in the same boat, but like you literally are. Like, everyone is trying to meet new people, and you're all in a new environment. So it's really, like, I've made some really amazing friends so far, and it's just like, you know, it's crazy because I didn't know these people even existed like 5 months ago, and now like I can't imagine my life without them, which is kind of crazy if you think about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, the transition was definitely hard, but definitely worth it too.
Yeah. Were you a part of any teams in like high school? Because I know that you're a part of a team now at Utah. Were you a part of any big teams?
No, skating is a really individual sport. So it's like there is team aspects, but like I'm on like a skating club, like the club that I represent, but we don't really have like team bonding events or anything because skating is really individual. So being on a team right now, like I mean, there's like synchro teams and Thero Nice teams, which I think I did for 1 year, but it was like never really my thing because I was just so used to being, you know, solo.
Yeah.
So, you know, now being on a team, it's still, it's nice just to have that kind of support network and people that will always think that you're like amazing, you know, which is really nice.
That's really good. Okay. Does Inaaya want to try?
Yes,
some pasta?
I do actually. Okay, ready? You know, a little taste test. Okay, cool. Ready? Get a little bit of everything that we use. Alright, ready? 3. What? That's actually so good.
Yeah. The lemon really adds to it. Okay. All right. I think that is everything that I wanted to ask. Thank you so much, Nyah, for coming and cooking with us.
Thank you for having me. This was so much fun.
I had a lot of fun learning this recipe and talking to you about figure skating. Thank you so much for watching. Again, this is Whisked Whispers. I'm Audrey Burnley. Thank you so much for watching.